What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sakina, and I'm back with another review. This is my review for the Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 10, episode 14. Be sure to check us out tonight for the Whether You Like It or Not panel. I don't know who it's hosted by. It might be hosted by Josiah because I know him and Scotty swap places. It's not T because we know that T is in recovery. So I don't know. I'll have it here on the screen so you can know for sure who's going to be hosting it tonight. But you already know the time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that y'all circle back here later today so we can discuss this episode. Make sure that y'all comment, like, hype my video, and all of those good things. I am a little drained, and that's because, you know, work, of course, the puppy, of course. And then I started my detox today. So I am detoxing for 2 weeks on raw veggies and fruits. So yes, it'll take some adjusting too because I haven't detoxed in like a year. So excuse me if I'm a little, you know, not as animated, but you already know how it is. I might start off one way and then the show gets me activated as this first scene did, because let's go ahead and get into that. It picks up where it left off last week with Angel confronting the girls about this eviction rumor. Ashley and Jazelle claim that they heard some more details on the fact that she did get evicted. And so she sat them all down and was like, yeah, let's nip this in the bud right now before I shut all of this down. So Wendy speaks up and she was like, I have a realtor friend who said that you wanted your house to look like it was $40K, but you were only willing to pay $1,000. So Angel cackles and was like, well, my rich actually paid, how much she paid? $14K on the property. Now, what property she was talking about, I don't know. She didn't specify to me. So y'all let me know if she was talking about the house in Colorado or the rental space that she had back in Potomac. I feel like either way, it could go either way, but I don't know. So she really didn't take too much offense to it because she knows that it's not true. And so Tia is defending her like she's actually an awful realtor for her to go and make those type of statements. And Wendy is like, no, actually she's really good. And in her confessional, Wendy was like, the realtor has no reason to lie. And she wasn't the only person that said that. Okay, so if it was true, then what? If it was true, then what? What is it to you, Miss Pam? What is it to you? You don't need to be clocking nobody's expenses because at the end of the day, we know how your situation currently is. So I'm going to need you to pipe down. Like, I think it's very rich for her to sit there and be like that and act like that towards Angel in regards to how she's spending her money. Girl, you are in no position to be questioning anybody about whether they're being truthful about their finances. Let's be so fucking for real right now. And I see that Angel is going on interviews and things like that. And one of the interviews that she was in asked her about Wendy and her situation, and she was like, she's not going to rebel in that situation, but at the same time, her and Wendy are not close, so no, she didn't reach out to her. Rightfully so. I wouldn't reach out to her at all. I feel like a lot of times people do try to take the high road when it's like, if I don't fool with you, I don't fool with you. That doesn't mean that I have to rebel in, you know, your situation, but it also means, okay, yeah, that's unfortunate, but I'm not calling you for what? Because then that'll be me being fake when I really don't give a damn. So speaking of calling people, oh, you see how I'm segueing? But speaking of calling people, Stacy, of all people, was like, well, why don't you call the realtor right now? Why don't you clear this up? I said, I know you ain't talking. Before Wendy even got a word out, I literally put in all caps, did you call TJ? And Wendy was like, oh, so now you want to call people. But when we was telling you to call TJ, you didn't want to do that. So in her confessional, Stacy is like, there's a difference between personal, you know, you might want to wait when it comes down to that, but business, you want to, you know, go ahead and talk about it, you know, talk our business. No, girl, no. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, why you gotta wait to call TJ? Because he gonna air you out about some truth? Yeah, okay. So at that point, Angel was like, I'm not about to sit here and play with y'all. Like, I'm not calling nobody. I really don't give a damn. Like, my business is to launch this year in 2026. I thought that her outdoor experience had already launched, especially with the pictures. Maybe, I don't know if they're doing it a little differently. I don't know. They're revamping it. I don't know what it is, but I thought that it was already in motion. But regardless of whatever, I still think that she's doing a good job with promoting it. I just feel like she needs to activate that website right now if it's not. While the show was on, I always say, while the show was on, make sure that your business is on so you can promote and people can go to your website and buy the product and do whatever the case may be. So, yeah, I was a little confused by that, but Angel took the same angle I would have took. Baby, I'm not about to sit here and call nobody. I'm not about to breathe energy into this because I don't give a damn. This is not true. So why am I going to get flustered over a bitch who got her shit wrong? So they'll go outside to have a meditation session. Now, Stacy is like, I don't want to come to Colorado to do all of this. I know I'm a yogi, but it's like, what did you expect? You already know how Angel is. Somebody else said that too. I think it was Wendy. If you already know where she lives in Colorado, how Angel is, like, y'all should already know what her intentions are going to be when you come into her role. So act surprised, I feel like it's just another nitpicky situation. So they go around and set their intentions, and Jazelle, her intention was to have a room with a bathroom. I'm with Angel. Jazelle has definitely made it her life's mission to nitpick at everything that she does, and it's like, okay, well, what can you do? At the end of the day, Jazelle, you got the room that you got, and you got the room that you deserved, most importantly. Ashley, she's like, well, Angel has set her intentions on getting to know us on a deeper level so many times. I hope that she's really serious about it. Let's think back, though. Like, let's think back. Every time that Angel says that she wants to get to know y'all on a deeper level, y'all go and pull some bullshit. First, it was the catfish thing. Now it's the eviction thing. So at what point do y'all want her to get to know y'all on a deeper level when every time y'all see her, it's like y'all have something to say? The more that y'all nitpick, the further back she goes. That I would be the same way. For what? Be close to y'all, open up to y'all for what? When y'all keep making every situation about me 20 on 10. Absolutely not. If it's not Stacy that they're nitpicking with, it's Angel. It's lame, it's whack, it's tired. Kiana, for some reason, is emotional yet again when setting intentions. And it's so funny to me because she was like, it's so embarrassing. She feels like the altitude is just making her emotional. But I do feel like it has something to do with whatever she took when they were in the car. She was like, yeah, I took something. Yeah, I think she took some weed, like something. I think it is a combination with the altitude, but something is definitely messing her up. But later on that day, they plan on doing like a hold down or something like that at Angel's house. Now, I will say when it comes down to meditating and stuff, it was a little odd that Angel wasn't sitting down. But, I mean, she was still participating nonetheless. But, yeah, whatever. Jazelle feeling some type of way because she got to do a single bed. Girl, you deserve that twin size bed, bitch. I don't understand what you thought. And just because you hosted a successful trip for once in Nevis, that doesn't change your attitude and how you've been treating Angel. Like, girl, I don't give a fuck. And I don't care if she's mentioning that she even gave Stacy a room with a bathroom. The way that you treated Stacy on that trip was a whole bunch of bullshit. You literally gave her scraps and your ass to kiss. And you're still showing glimpses of that still, because when they went to Monique's event, when it came down to writing things about everybody, she left Stacy's page blank. Like, girl, again, you still going out your way to try to single out Stacy, and it's unwarranted, it's unnecessary, and nobody gives a fuck. And then for Jazelle to try to throw a dig or throw shade towards Angel and her business, Wonder Nuts. Bitch, where's Every Hue? Where are you? Bitch, like, it's just so annoying. It's so annoying. And I feel like these girls have a lot of nerve to be questioning someone's finances, to be questioning someone's behavior, to question someone's business. Let's be serious. Let's be serious. It's a major problem when it comes down to Jazelle specifically. Ashley has now replaced Robin and really feeling like she's that girl ever since Candace left. So she feels like she can address and ask people certain things when you're not fucking qualified. Neither one of y'all are qualified. Wendy ain't qualified either. Like, let's be serious. So at this point, somebody asked Angel, how many bedrooms she has in her house. She said 6. Monique had the nerve to say why Jazelle can't sleep in one of the rooms. Bitch, because Jazelle is not allowed to come to my property and spend the night. That's why. I wish Angel would be upfront about it, because let's be real. This bitch don't fuck with me and I don't fuck with her. She not spending the night at my house. I barely want the bitch on my property. What? Angel lets them know that Kiana and Tia are going with her. And Jassy is like, so when did you and Tia get so close? Why the fuck does it matter? I'm not close to you. You and Angel are not close, so I'm trying to figure out, why are you so jealous? I mean, yeah, y'all had the little moment when Angel was telling you about old girl who was lying on her personality or wherever the case in Nevis, but y'all are not close. So then in her confessional with her tacky ass outfit and them 2 clips in the back of her head gonna say that Tia is basically trying to get chummy with Bobby and Angel to make her first real estate deal. First of all, before you speak on Tia let us know already that she makes bank when it comes down to this real estate shit. So if she wants to help out a friend, okay, but she's not new to this. Jassy, I'm gonna need you to stay in your lane, whatever the fuck that is. I guess being a wag. So they part ways. Angel, Kiana, and Tia, they're on their way to Angel's house, and then the rest of the girls are at the Airbnb or whatever you call it. So Wendy's whole thing is, we're being split up. The best part of the trip is when we all have a good time, and then at the end of the night, we, talk shit, kiki, recap the night. And I understand that, because that definitely is the best part. I love that part of the trip. That's my favorite part. So I get where Wendy is coming from, but at the end of the day, again, look how y'all treated her. Why would y'all want her to have y'all at her house and stay at her house when y'all have been treating her like shit? But even outside of that, I mean, granted, it could have been a closer Airbnb to where there wasn't so much traveling involved and things of that nature. I understand that. I agree that would have irritated me. But again, because of who it is, I don't give a fuck. Like, y'all get what y'all get and you don't throw a fit, period. Monique was like, I would have called the real estate agent. For what? Like, I'm literally if it doesn't apply, let it fly type of person. I'm not about to sit here and get up in arms about something somebody said that was not fucking true. If it's not true, then what am I getting mad at? And then Jazelle gonna say, you don't get defensive over the word evicted if it wasn't true. Y'all are making this shit up. That's the reason. She's literally telling y'all what it is, and then y'all are telling her what her situation is. So she has every reason to be annoyed with y'all when y'all are trying to tell her about her life. Yeah. So at the end of the day, none of that shit fucking matters. A lot of it is rooted in jealousy. It is just rooted in them trying to haze her as being the newbie. It's lame. It's whack. Whatever. So Angel pulls up at her house and we get a tour of her house. So far from what we see, it's very beautiful. Tia is excited that she is actually in the house. And Jazelle and Ashley, I guess they're going off to a hotel. So it is going to be even more divided than what it was. Okay. Do you go get a hotel if you don't want to stay there? That's fine. But I mean, the trip is off to a bad start. It isn't as organized as it could be. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because other people who are pretty much innocent in the situation are getting the short end of the stick. That is Jassy, Stacy, Monique. They didn't have anything to do with it. But I know there is a backstory to it. I guess it was supposed to be like a couple's trip or something. And by the time they turned the trip around, all the close Airbnbs were taken or something like that. I don't know. I didn't read the full thing, but I know it's something of that nature. So Ashley and Jazelle decided to stay in the Airbnb. And on the way there, Monique, I'm going to need you to stop projecting your situation with Chris onto Angel. You do not know Angel. You do not know Bobby. You have not seen them interact with each other together. You haven't seen any of that. To try to speak so matter-of-factly, it's like you're contradicting yourself. You're speaking as if you know for sure that the situation is Angel is carrying all the weight by herself and Bobby isn't helping. And then you're like, oh, well, I don't know if that's happening. So how could you try to say that you know what's happening, but then say that you don't know what's happening? Hello, I've been there. You've been in the situation that you've been in, but you cannot compare your situation with Chris to Angel and Bobby because you are not them and you haven't even seen them interact together. All that you're doing is basing it off of her saying that Bobby didn't want to go to the event and her saying that Bobby has a man cave. Okay. He don't want the women sleeping in his room. They only have 6 rooms. So regardless if he gave the room up to Jazelle, it still wouldn't be enough room for the rest of the ladies. And why the fuck do Jazelle get princess treatment? The bitch don't deserve that shit. What are you talking about, Monique? Shut the fuck up. Now, she did give us some insight when it comes down to cash trips. She said that the network does pay for certain expenses, but they do partner with the network to make sure that, you know, basically the trip is curated the way that they want to. Okay, they even got on Airbnb and said that there were certain Airbnbs that could fit enough people closer in proximity to where Angel lives. Okay, it is what it is at the end of the day. Like I said, it is a bit unfair to the other ladies and it does give off unorganized. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. So it's like, y'all need to roll with it or not, because there have been trips that were worse, in my opinion. Them going to Austin was so boring to me. Austin was one of the worst Potomac trips. I can't think of any others off the top of my head, but let's not act like Potomac's trips don't be a whole bunch of bullshit majority of the time. So they get to Angel's house. Ashley comes with a crystal, baby. Throw that crystal away. Throw it away. Throw it away. Throw it away. She has tried to antagonize you. She doesn't really like you. I wouldn't take that from her. Absolutely not. Her nasty ass energy. She had been making facial expressions the entire time when Angel was trying to clear up whatever eviction rumors they heard and all of that. Ashley, bitch, I would have tossed that bitch like a motherfucking frisbee. Like, Anyway, they have a tour of the house. Everybody is eating it up. The house looks very nice. You know, Ashley said something on the way too. Oh, all this house and all this land, y'all couldn't find some rooms. Girl, shut the fuck up. So she's telling them, you know, there's different things here. There's an oxygen bar and all this stuff. She even introduces them to some people. Now, I'm going to say, as she was doing her introduction to the people, that nigga, what's his name? Jason? The dude with the cigar who looked like JB Smooth? Like instantly fucking ick. What is this attitude, persona, like energy that you're giving? Like, I don't know. It kind of gave he was trying to be a boss, trying to be intimidating, like not really giving a fuck. Shout out to all the people that were there because they seem like they are really making strides and, you know, doing the damn thing out in Colorado, but baby, spare me. Yeah, I felt the girls like, who the fuck is this nigga? Like, I wouldn't even want to be in his space. The energy was very low. They did not seem excited to meet them. There were some ladies that were around at one point, but she didn't introduce them. It was really the men that she was introducing them to, and none of them seemed interested. So Stacy was like, this is like some get out shit. So they have a table set further out in the yard, and she was like, we're all the way out here. Yes, y'all do need to be all the way out there because y'all have a tendency to act a fool. So if this is a joint celebration, meaning that this is Housewives plus real guests, yes, let's have y'all a little out there so when y'all start arguing and stuff like that, y'all don't interrupt what they have going on up here. Yeah. So they start passing the food around. Everything looks good. I love how it's all black everything, okay? It's black chefs and everything. Mwah, love to see it. So Monique is like, I love this Angel. Jassy messy ass talking about, oh, so you don't like the other version of her? Monique said no. And she was like, the Angel that was at the rental earlier on, she didn't like that. I can't for the life of me understand why people just can't go with the flow. Why are y'all doing this? Y'all are at her home. She's being hospitable. She's having a good time. She's light and airy. And y'all saying all this stuff that y'all like. Why do y'all feel the need to make a dig at her? Like, just appreciate the shit for what it is, give her a compliment, and keep it fucking moving. And I really need Monique to shut the hell up, because she's the same one that kicked Jazelle out of her house for being rude to her. So all this caping for Jazelle and not understanding why Jazelle isn't getting white glove service is annoying to me. So Jazelle is chiming in and she's like, yeah, her energy earlier was whack. And Angel was like, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but we're here to have a good time. Let's have a good time. I'm here if you need me. Oh, well, yeah, actually, I did want to let you know. Basically, Jazelle felt some type of way that they were staying so far out with the Airbnb situation. And then on top of that, the house that they're in, the water is intermittent. So basically it comes on and off at a certain time. You have to turn it on with a switch or whatever. And so Angel wants to rectify that, because at the end of the day, nobody deserves to be without water, even Jazelle and Ashley's raggedy asses. So yeah, she's taking it in stride, not really, giving it too much energy. But the thing is, Jazelle, your attitude is whack. Your neck is whack. Your style is whack. Like, you are just an overall whack ass person. And at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of us were enjoying you during this time of Robin's absence, because it was like, a refreshing moment. A lot of people compared it to Jazelle on season 1. And yes, I can give them that. But it was only a matter of time before the real Jazelle started to show up. And she can't help it. That's who she really is. Whether you made up with Monique or Wendy, it was always going to be Angel, Stacy, or whoever else you wanted to single out, because at the end of the day, that's who you really are. This behavior is who you are. And I think it's so played out, it's unprovoked, and you really want to get a rise out of Angel. And I love the fact that she is not giving you any type of energy, because you want a moment with her so bad. You want to disrespect her on her property so bad. It's actually sickening. Like, what is your point? You're better off just going home. Literally, just go the fuck home, because you're never going to be satisfied on this trip. So then they get into Stacy and Tia and where they stand. Stacy is like, she really doesn't know who Tia is. Tia flipped the script on her and joined the hate Stacy train, basically feeling like whoever Tia is around, she's going to embody whatever energy they're giving off. And I would agree with that to an extent, because I like Tia. So I would agree with that had Tia not tried to make amends with Stacy at her Juneteenth event, at her Shio event. In fact, it was Stacy who flipped the script, because Tia was trying to, get to know Stacy, even though she was there to try to get some information when she met Timu. I understand that, but she invited them out to dinner and things. And Stacy, you were the one who lied and said that the man was out of town when he wasn't in town, and then tried to gaslight Tia at your event, and then kicked her out because you didn't want to hear her speak about the situation any longer, when she was actually trying to make amends with you and just talk it out. So I can't give you that, Stacy. Tia said that Stacy is the one who actually doesn't know herself and how she acts differently in front of people. Now, Tia brought up this whole Chris Samuels thing again, and let me say this right here. We don't give a damn, okay? Like I said, if she did it, I feel like we would never truly know, because Stacy is a liar. And so she isn't going to be truthful about it, because it looks bad on her end to go back and tell something that his ex-wife was talking amongst the group about. So we're never going to know whether or not Stacy actually spoke to him, if Stacy was dating Chris or any of that. None of that really matters. So I don't really care to get too much into that. Tia said that Stacy agitates her soul. And hey, everybody is not going to like everybody. Again, I understand why Tia really isn't fooling with Stacy, because it is kind of like, girl, you be lying, you be doing too much. But at the same time, if you don't like liars, then baby, you need to stop associating yourself with Jazelle and Ashley. Okay, those are the top 2 liars of this cast. So I'm gonna need you to stop. And again, You are amongst liars, okay? Look at Wendy over there lying about her finances. Huh? Yeah. And who else lying? Let me see, because it's playing right now. Monique, she a little fibber too. Jassy over there living a lie with that damn football player. Yeah. So then Monique was like, there is some inconsistencies when it comes down to Stacy's situation, her story of knowing Chris. She said, one of the girls pointed out how Stacy said she didn't have his number and then miraculously she had his number. Exactly. That is definitely like I don't know. So Monique is like, it's inconsistency with the truth. And then on top of that, Chris is threatening to basically sue for defamation and threatening with the kids too, like the kids arrangement or something like that, custody. So she said it's not fair to just put all the blame on Stacy. So she's going to believe Stacy until proven otherwise. But basically she has a side eye. And I mean, I feel like definitely had the side eye. It could have been Cookie. Let's not forget that was the thing where we felt like it was Kiana and Cookie, you know, stirring some shit up. So I don't feel like she should put all of her bags, all her accusatory eggs in Stacy's bag or basket. Anyway, Angel tells them what they were going to be doing for the next day. They're going to get on a jet, go to Aspen, go to Kimosabi. Jazelle didn't know what that was. I don't know if y'all peeped, but Jazelle had a little stank face the entire time. And she said that, yes, they're going to Kimosabi, which is a celeb haven. Remember, we seen the ladies do that on Beverly Hills. And so they're going to fly back to Angel's house and they're going to have dinner there. So they want to have a pajama jam. Kiana was like, yeah, I feel like we should all get together tomorrow and have a pajama session. Monique was like, yeah, we should definitely do that. Angel was like, well, I need to check in with Bobby because he wasn't prepared to, you know, be with the kids. And Monique was like, girl, that's just dad shit. And honestly, I would have had the same response that Monique had. But Angel was like, wait, bitch, don't, not too much. Don't speak on my man, okay? So at that point, she was like, I definitely want to go, but, you know, let me check in with my husband first. And we see that Angel did talk to Bobby, and she just really doesn't want to go. That's all that is. She does not want to go. She should have just kept it a buck. Honestly, I'd just rather be at home. The rest of you ladies can go, but I'm still breastfeeding, and I just rather, you know, be with my kid. And I feel like they could have better understood that than you try to act like you wanted to go and the whole time you don't. Because I feel like regardless of whatever, you are justified in your reason not to want to hang with them because they're here in Colorado and they're still giving you pushback. They're still talking shit. They're doing all of that. So it's like, even though you are trying to be warm and welcoming, they're still giving ungrateful little bitches. So I get why you don't want to be around them, but just keep it a buck. And nobody could say anything about it, especially Ashley, because remember, she came all the way to wherever the hell they was to spill the tea about Wendy and went back home so she could breastfeed. She even brought her breast milk, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, like I feel like they would have understood. Just keep it a buck. At the end of the day, Bobby was like, I mean, if you want to go, go. But I know you don't want to go. You know, don't go. Have the rest of the girls go. You don't have to. I know this is your trip, but I mean, at the same time, it is your trip, so it is kind of like, girl, just suck it up and go, you know, pump and do what you need to do. But it's like, I understand, but at the same time, I do kind of want her to push through because you are giving them something to talk about. This is ultimately your trip that you're hosting, so you are going to have to go the extra mile to make sure that these ladies have a good time in the state that you invited them to. So, of course, you know, on the way home, Jazelle got something to say. The trip or the visit didn't go as she planned it to go or she expected it to go. She said that she thought it was odd that Angel needed the okay from Bobby to go stay with them. Now, granted, I know I give Angel a lot of grace and, you know, I'm definitely Team Angel when it comes down to a lot of stuff. But it like the optics do look crazy. Like, we know that she's using Bobby as an excuse or as a way to not go with the ladies. Ashley actually clocked it perfectly because she already peeped game. And so, it just is what it is. She said Ashley said she feels like Angel is going to gauge how they hang out in Aspen and let that be the determining factor on whether or not she's going to stay with them. So that's that. And the ladies the next day talk about how their night was. They didn't have any running water when they came back to the house. They got on YouTube and everything trying to figure out how to get the water connected, and it didn't work. The chef ended up coming over the next morning and he was able to turn it on, but it was very short-lived because Stacy had water at the end of the night. She was the only one who had water. And then when they got ready to go, she turned it on and it was dripping out. So Jazelle is like, fuck that, I'm taking over. We're going to Aspen, but after that, we're not staying here. And I understand that. That is one of the situations where you do have to take over and find somewhere else for y'all to stay. I understand that. Nene did the same thing with Cynthia because their accommodations were just not it. I think the only issue that I'm going to have with that is from the preview, it sounds like Jazelle is going to try to take over the trip. Not only the living quarters, but the trip and what they have planned. That is an overstep. And I feel like that just because you had one successful trip does not make you the ultimate party planner, Jazelle. It does not. Let's be real. The reason why y'all got that Nevis trip is because Karen's budget was available. We have not seen y'all do anything luxurious for a long time. So, girl, okay. We see at Angel's house, she said that she had text. Oh, gosh. Y'all hear a lot of chaos. It's the puppy. But she texted Jassy to check on everybody, and Jassy was the one to let her know that they didn't have water overnight. And again, Angel is not okay with that. And she was like, damn, nobody even let me know that y'all was going through this. So it is like they are intentionally doing stuff or leaving stuff out so they can come to her with the bullshit. Because what do you mean? She is the hostess and y'all didn't say anything to her about it. She did have communication with the homeowner or whatever, but it still doesn't seem to be resolved. Obviously, they just ran out of water again. Angel then says that Jassy told her about what Monique said about how her and Bobby's dynamic is. And as y'all know, Angel at this point is like Candy with Todd. My man, don't talk about my man. She was like, oh, y'all dragging my man into it? Like, absolutely not. The only thing that I have in common with you is that our husbands play football together. Well, not together, but we're in the league. That's it. Like, that's it. Even when Monique had introduced herself to Bobby, she was like, yeah, I used to be on the phone with you, whatever. So that was a full circle, cool moment. But at the same time, again, you don't know them. That is the bulk of the conversation, or the bulk of you knowing them is you just saying hi to Bobby and hearing what Angel has said. So Monique trying to act like she got everything figured out and she sees it and all that. Girl, shut the fuck up. I'm tired of hearing about it. Stop trying to analyze and dissect their relationship. You don't fucking know them. It's weird. It's strange. It's tired. Moving on. That was the end of the episode, y'all. Let me know what y'all thought about it. Let's get down in the comments and talk. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.